All right, today we're going to do something that I think that you are all fairly excited about, and that is the thing that you tried to do even though your teachers tell you, namely me, that you can't cross multiply. Okay, here's how you know that you can cross multiply. You have a proportion. Well, what the heck is a proportion? How do you know if it is one? If you have two fractions that are set equal, then it's a proportion. So I have these two fractions that are equal to each other. I can multiply this cross, which is 3 times 6, and it's going to be equal to the other cross. Let me change colors, which is 2 times n. And the way that you know you can do this is because when you're all done, you have this pretty little butterfly. So if you don't get a butterfly, that is, you don't have a body, an equal sign, you cannot cross multiply. Once you get it set up, I'm going to go ahead and complete this. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 is equal to 2n. To get n by itself, I have to divide by 2. And so 18 divided by 2 is 9, or n is equal to 9. It's true. That's the answer. Okay, let's look at another. All right, so the first thing I notice is that I do have this equal sign. So if I have the equal sign, then I'm going to go ahead and do my crosses. So here I have 1 times 3, and that's going to be equal to 5 times t. 1 times 3 is 3, and 5 times t is 5t. To get the t by itself, I'm going to divide by 5. And 3 divided by 5 is just the fraction 3/5. So your t value, your answer, your solution is 3/5. All right, on this third one, again, I see that I have a equal sign in between my two fractions. So I know that I can cross multiply. Here, g times 9 is 9g. And here, 3 times 10 is 30. To get the g by itself, I have to divide by 9. And g is equal to, well, let's see, 30 isn't divisible by 9, so I'm going to look for a common, least common multiple. So 30 is divisible by 3, which is 10. 9 is divisible by 3, which is 3. So g is equal to 10/3. If you want to make it a mixed number, you can, but you are welcome to leave it as an improper fraction. Okay, story problems with proportions. Pretty much any time that you're talking about a total, it might be a height, it might be, it really could be anything. So anything about a total, it's going to be a proportion. So in this case, yes, they're going to talk about totals, and then they actually tell us that it's proportional. So what it says is that the height of each window is 18 inches. So I have a window, and a lot of times when I do a story problem, if I can, I draw a picture. So here's my window, and the height of it is 18 inches. So I go ahead and label that. And then it says that the width is 11 inches. So here's my width, and that is 11 inches. Now it says the height of the building. Oh, so there's a building involved. I'm just going to draw like a skyscraper, I guess. And so the height of the building is 108 feet. And I want to know what the width of the building is. Now, since they give me two rectangular objects and they tell me that these two objects are proportional to each other, that's how I set up to solve the problem. So I'm going to put the height of the window, 18 inches, on top. And I'm just going to go ahead and label that height so that you know where it came from. So that was the height. And the height in the original problem was related to the width. So I have the height of 18 and the width of 11 inches. And I might just go ahead and call that the width. Okay, and that should be equal or proportional to the building. So since I have the height of the window on the top, I need to have the height of the building on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my fraction bar, I'm put 108 on the top. Notice that is also a height. And the width is what I don't know, so I'm going to put an X in there. Now, if you mix up some of these numbers as far as, like, if you decided to put the widths on top, you'd still get the right answer. So there is a lot of flexibility in proportions. Now that I have this proportion, which mine is a little bit of a mess, I can go ahead and solve it. So I'm going to first multiply X times 18, which will give me 18X. Then I'm going to multiply 108 times 11. Honestly, I don't know what that is. So I'm going to go off to the side. I have my 108 times 11. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 1 is 1. Put my placeholder. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 1 is 1. Now I'm going to add. So I have 8, 8, 1, 1. So it's equal to 1,188. Now to get the x by itself, I have to divide by 18. So again, I don't know what that is. Off to the side, I'm going to take 1,188 and I'm going to divide it by 18. Let's see, 18 doesn't go into 11, so I have to figure out how many times 18 goes into 118. If I chose 5, so I like to start with 5 just as kind of like, that way it gives me an idea where I'm at. 8 times 5 is 40. 5 plus 4 more is 9. So 90, if I add 18 to 90, I'm still okay. So I think that it's going to be 6. 6 times 8 is 48. Carry the 4. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 more is 10. So there's 108. 8 minus 8 is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. Bring down my 8. Okay, now what times 18 is 108? We already did it. So it's another 6, which will give me my 108. So when I divide, x is equal to 66. And what are my units? 66 feet. So the building is 66 feet wide. And I kind of like to look back at my original and see if that makes sense. Well, let's see. 18 right here times 6 gives me this 108, right? What's 11 times 6? Ah, it's that 66 that we just got. So actually, I can kind of prove it very simply. What I want you to do now is I want you to watch the second part of this video, and then you do have the worksheet to complete. Okay, there's a reminder. I actually wrote it out. Watch part 2.